Mr. Brizzolara, could we get you to sit down, please?
Please, Todd.
Welcome. This is a very eventful day for Alva, Oklahoma, and a very eventful weekend, right? With Goldbug homecoming and Northwestern homecoming on the same. It's just too much. But of course, there's nothing that happens in Alva, right? There's nothing to do. There's nothing that happens at Alva. There is so much packed into this weekend, there's no way you can get there for everywhere. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. This is the 6th annual Distinguished Goldbug Award ceremony. Elizabeth Ritchie, who is the mastermind of all of the organization that makes this tick, said, why haven't we been doing this for the last 30 or 40 years? Good question. But we can promise that it will continue for the next 30 to 40 years, right?
Yes.
Sorry I was late. Typical Todd moment. Don't think I've ever been on time for anything, but appreciate your patience with me. At this time, I will turn it over to a graduating senior this year, Timothy Argo, our superintendent of schools, Mr. Tim Argo.
Thank you, Mr. Holder. You always do a great job of welcoming me wherever I go. A new introduction each time, so thank you. It is great to be back together again this year. Last year was a difficult year for us all, and to see everyone back together has been great. And it has been a busy week for our students and for our community, but it's been a great week. I think we sometimes forget all of the great things that happen in Alva, and there are many great things, and this is just one of them. This banquet is very special to many folks, and especially I think to our students today, the impact that our distinguished Goldbugs had on them is one that we will look back on in years to come and have created great memories for them. I know, speaking personally, the many teachers and staff members of Alva Public Schools, from Mrs. Sherman to Mrs. Nida to Mrs. Blue, who modeled excellence and integrity, is something that we continue to strive for in Alva Public Schools. And so, welcome and thank you, and to our distinguished Goldbugs, thank you for your time today with our students. I can tell you your impact with them was far-reaching, and it was a great morning for our kids. So, welcome again, thank you, and enjoy your day today.
Hi, I'm Jenna Allen. If you guys could stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated.
Elizabeth Ritchie is going to come do our invocation, but I want you to see this lady, and I'd like to have a round of applause for all the work that she does.
Thank you, Todd. Would you bow with me, please? Father, we glory in your name. Thank you for anointing Alva and her school. From the very beginning, education has been important to this community. Sanctify this gathering. We not only recognize these individuals that reflect the legacy of excellence in education, we also honor you for blessing our beautiful community. Bless this meal and the preparer's hands. We give you all the praise. In Jesus Christ, amen.
So we're on a tight schedule, right? So we want everybody to go ahead and start eating. We're going to make the introductions as we do, okay? Don't eat too loud. We'll make the introductions as we go. I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that, and then we'll start the introduction process, okay? Make sure we got good food. Now, you are welcome to say a few remarks if you'd like to. Okay. All right. Come right on. So, fair warning on the gifts and the art signs that are a little wet because the paint's not completely dry yet. Don't leave here without them. We will not be mailing them to you at cost an arm and a leg. So don't leave here with them. Okay.
I did make a speech, but I've got PowerPoint slides over there. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you, team at Washington. Thank you, Carlene, for nominating me. I really means a whole lot to me. I moved here, and thank you for my friends and family. Okay, of course. I moved here right before my sophomore year, and so I was trying to this morning I was thinking, gosh, what do I want to say up here? So I moved here right before my sophomore year, and I remember like my first. The only thing I can remember that was my first encounter on the basketball court with Coach Moss. If anybody knows Coach Moss, I just remember thinking, "Oh my goodness, these girls are really tall," and the story of my life still. But I've had so many wonderful opportunities here. I was telling the students this morning that our kids now are in a big school that just don't have all those opportunities, and so they're able to. I was able to play basketball. I wasn't very good. I was in the show choir. I wasn't very good at that either. I was a pretty decent tennis player, but I loved it because I was able to do a lot of different things and have a lot of people really influence my life. So I just want to say thank you guys for doing this. It's really awesome to see and experience all this. It gives us a good reason to come here and to be a part of this. And I was looking. Anyway, I've been doing a lot of reading and researching lately, and they say that one of the biggest predictors for success for students academically, socially, civically, everything is by school spirit. And so I think that this is a good indicator of that, of how much school spirit you have here, and how that really helps support success for students in Alva. So thank you guys, and thank you for having me and putting me into the distinguished Goldbug. I'm very excited.
So some of my classmates said, "Todd, what is this? What is this? What is this deal?" Right? So what this deal is it gives us an opportunity to honor the people who have graduated out of high school and gone on and made successes of their lives and done something different. And what it really is bringing those people back and letting them interact with our high school students so that they might get a touch and a feel of what they might be able to do in years to come. Right? Kids, did you enjoy the guys today? So our Goldbug ambassadors, and we won't make you stand up. Well, we might. So practice your name. In a minute, we're going to have you stand up and tell who you are. Maybe. The Distinguished Goldbug, as I said, we started 6 years ago. And is it a fundraiser? Yes, of course it's a fundraiser. And what do we do with those funds? We give them back to the community, give them back to the teachers, give mini grants, give things that we can educate the kids with because the school budget is tight. And we need to be a part, as graduates of Alva High School, we need to be a part of the future of our next generation. Okay? A little speech in between. Our next recipient, unless I've got my, I hope I got this right. Our next recipient, are these in any kind of order? I'm afraid I've gotten my thing mixed up. Oh, dear. my good friend, Mr. John Phelps. And I would ask somebody much taller than I, Mr. Mike Perkins, to come medal John. Just scoot around here. I'll be down for you, Mike.
Would you please? Yeah. Please, sir. Congratulations on this. Proud of you.
I'm getting pretty good at this, but bear with me a sec. This scooter. I do have a quite long, lengthy speech, so get ready. Can you guys hear me all right? I know I'm above the mic here. Where is that thing? All right. It's not that long. First of all, I want to thank the Alva Goldbug Education Fund. Puts this thing on. It's a great thing that you've started, and especially this award. I think it really allows alumni to get back involved. And you know, Todd and Kay are on this committee, I think, that selects the selection committee of this award. And I have, I'll talk to you guys later, but I have envelopes for you with, you know, what we talked about. September was a little slow for me, so I'm a little short this month. They're both from the class of '78. I also want to thank the selection committee and Elizabeth Ritchie for their work on this award. My family, two of my sisters, Jackie couldn't make it, but two of my sisters, Janet and Judy, are here. My daughter, amazing, wonderful daughter, Erin, is here. I want to thank them for their support. You know, I want to thank my dad. Rest in peace, Dad. He helped me develop a shot. You know, I wasn't the most athletic guy in the world, so he saw that early on, I think, and he said, we need to get this guy so we can shoot. So thanks, Dad. Mom passed away this summer, and ironically, I got a call about my selection to this award on the way home from her funeral. And I kind of cheers me up a little bit, but thinking about her, I think she might have had a little hand in this. So I want to thank the town of Alva and all the teachers and coaches that helped me along the way. Mike Perkins had a lot of influence on me as a young guy. He was a senior when I was a junior, and we had a team in 1977 that was pretty dang good. We didn't win state, but we got pretty far in the playoffs, and according to the stats that were put together, that team still holds the record for the points per game, the highest points per game in Alva history. So thank you, Mike. He was a great player, 2018 recipient of this award. And then, last but not least, for sure, my friends and classmates back there. That's a posse back there. It's a lot of trouble sitting back in the table. Let's see, we got Randy, Wade, Tony, Jim, Steve, Larry, and his wife Kathy that all came to see me here. And some of you guys drove a long, long way. I appreciate it. I really do. And in the words of what Coach Dale of the Hoosiers, I love you guys. So thank you so much.
When Steve Parkhurst was superintendent, there was a lot of jabs that we could make. We don't have as many on Mr. Argo yet. I'm sure that we will be able to find them before very long. I don't history is to work with. I want to tell a small story about one of our early on distinguished Goldbugs, and I told this story so your recipients have already heard this, and I apologize, but I think it's worth repeating. So we had a recipient some time ago, one of the first recipients of this award, and one of the key things, as I mentioned, was that everybody gets to go to the high school and meet with the kids and be a mentor towards those. And this gentleman, who was up in age, connected with 2 or 3 of our high school kids and did a little bit more than just connect. They started pen pal through email and conversing back by text message or by telephone. And it's not something that everybody could do, but this man became a sponsor and a mentor towards those kids as they went to college and helped those kids financially with scholarships to get through school. Those particular kids would not have been able to go to school without his help. He recognized that. That's not something we're asking the recipients to do. That's a real life story where Goldbugs help Goldbugs, and it makes history, okay? Keep that in mind. Our next recipient today is Amy Williams Chlouber. Excuse me, Chlouber. Go ahead. Kevin Evans is going to go.
Much deserved. This is a list of the recommendation letters. Have you ever seen this or not? Just start crying. Seriously. She is a rock star in her field. Absolutely. She's helped us, I can't tell you how many times. I met her about 10 years ago, and she immediately changed the course of our agency in my career. Infant mental health, early childhood, she is the best in this region, without a doubt.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet because I'm not a big public speaker. Kevin, thank you so much for the nomination. I'm thrilled to be here and among this group of distinguished Goldbugs. I had no idea this existed, so I'm really excited to be part of that. I want to say that throughout my career, the small town life that I grew up in has been invaluable. And it's always nice to come home. I have colleagues and friends across the state and across the nation who come from bigger cities, and their experiences, a lot of the same, but a lot of them are very different from mine. And I'm always glad to come home, and this feels like home today. My career here as an Alva Goldbug, what the heck is a Goldbug? I get that question. I got that question this week as I was preparing to come here today. But I'm proud to be a Goldbug, and I'm really thrilled and honored and humbled to receive this award. So thank you all very much.
No stories. Give you a break. The next recipient was not able to attend today. They did send an interview, and we're going to watch it. Candy Ongren, who is our technical professional, who puts all the slideshow stuff together for us and keeps the historical side of it. She's going to start this.
For honoring me with the 2021 Distinguished Graduate of Arts Award. I'm truly flattered to be chosen and extremely sorry that I am unable to be there in person to accept this award. I moved to Alva as a high school sophomore in 1971 and quickly joined into the Goldbug world. Oh, and I met my future husband Rob on that first day as well. A fortuitous event. The teachers at Alva High School, especially Mrs. Nichols, Mrs. Schnabel, Mrs. Swahorsky, and Mr. Duncan,
were instrumental in shaping my future. With their help, I gained the foundation of my knowledge of English language, literature, and creative writing, along with a splash of art and inspiration from Mr. Duncan. All this knowledge served me well in pursuing my career dreams. In 1978, I earned a Bachelor of Arts degree from Northwestern Oklahoma State University in English Literature with minors in Education and Library Science. After a couple of kids and a couple of family relocations later, I earned my Master's in Library Science in 1986 from the University of Oklahoma. With this degree, I found jobs in public and school libraries in numerous states. These positions enabled me to share my love of literature, and most importantly, my love of reading and writing with countless students and patrons. Ultimately, I embarked on creating my own stories as a children's author, a career for which I won numerous state and regional writing awards. Most recently, the New Mexico Press Women's Zia Award for Outstanding Children's Literature for my middle grade novel, From the Grave. Alva High School certainly provided me with the impetus for my life's endeavors, and it is with deep appreciation that I accept this award today. Thank you.
So Cindy was a recipient and nominated 2 or 3 years ago and has been unable to attend every year because of conflicts. And so we thought that we were finally going to get her here this year, and due to COVID, and they've got a grandson that is compromised, and so they are unable to, she was unable to be here this time. So I think, before we go to the next one, I think we will have our ambassadors come up, and I would like for you to introduce yourselves. Just like you can do that, right? You can do that. And then if you could go ahead and recite the Alva High School pledge, you know.
Yes.
You do not need to recite the pledge. I do want you to come up and introduce yourselves, though. Speak loud.
Hello, my name is Cynthia Salmoniego and I am a junior at Alva High School.
I'm Jenna Allen, and I'm a sophomore at Alva High School.
I'm Kristen Bosch. And I'm a sophomore at Alva High School.
I'm Evan Ferguson and I'm a freshman.
I'm Jason Shirley and I'm a freshman.
I'm Juliana Phillips and I'm a sophomore.
Thank you. Work on the pledge for next time, guys, please. It's on the side of the building. You see it every time you look. Our next recipient was also unable to be in attendance today, and just so happens to be the husband of the recipient that was just here, and it's Mr. Robert Regg. So we also have a video of him.
Thank the Alva Goldbug Education Foundation for the 2021 Distinguished Graduate in Business Award. I'm very honored for this recognition, and I wish we could be there in person with you, but times are difficult for us all. I grew up in Alva, went to Washington Grade School, Alva Junior High, Alva Senior High School, and then Northwestern. My wife Cindy and I were classmates in the class of 1974. I greatly enjoyed my time at AHS. I made lifelong friends and had the support of great teachers and administrators like Mr. Niles, Mr. Valenti, Mr. Knox, Coach Emil Blue, Mrs. Nichols, and many others. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I graduated high school, but I knew I wanted to see the world and be part of the global community. After graduating Northwestern in 1978, I worked for Conoco, Totco, Cleveland Pneumatic, Sprint Corporation, and finally MasterCard. I love seeing new challenges and learning new businesses, and thankfully, Cindy was an incredible organizer and made sure our kids and our many moves were handled gracefully. At all these companies, I tended to gravitate to the international sides of the business. Along the way, I've been to 6 continents and more than 60 countries. As president of MasterCard Technologies, I was responsible for servicing customers in 210 countries and managing over 6,000 resources located in 41 countries. I retired in late 2017. I greatly enjoyed my career, but I'm happy to say I'm no longer on airplanes unless I want to be. Alva High School gave me a great foundation for my career, and I'm sure it's giving one to today's students as well. And now for those students, I just challenge you, it's really up to you to decide what you're going to do with this gift you've been given. Lastly, thanks for the foundation for this recognition, and I truly appreciate this award. Thank you all.
These yet, you need to come by and look at them. So, Mrs. Ritchie said, Todd, we gotta go to Plan B because we can't get the ones we used to get. And so I enlisted a couple of Alva High School graduates. So this is what we came up with, and this design was put together by Lance Harsman and Chris Green. So it was put together by Goldbugs for Goldbugs. These are great yard signs. These are not available for sale, right? The only way you can get one of these is to be a distinguished Goldbug, so we hope that you display these proudly in your yard so everyone can ask, what is a Goldbug? Okay, our next recipient is Dr. Jeff Brizzolara. Dr. K. Decker is going to grab.
I do not have a speech prepared, but I do want to say a few things. And so, first, this is such a huge honor. I was really blown away when I got the call, and I, got to give a thank you to Cody. He nominated me, and it means a lot. And I was telling my mom, my dad, and I was like, I really wish my mom could have been here. She was a graduate of Alva. I think she would have really appreciated and loved to see this because she loved the town of Alva as well. Appreciate my sister driving up so far from Amarillo to come do this. I have 3 kids and a wife, and they all just happen to be traveling and doing something this weekend. I'm like, you guys, you get to ride in a car. Somebody come with me. It'll be so much fun. And so they're excited about it. And I'll tell you today, walking around the high school, it really hit me. It's like, you read about it, and I'm like, wow, this is so great. I was, so appreciative of it. And then you walk down the halls of where you went to school, and you're like, wow, I remember this. And I will tell you, the school is incredible, some of the things that they've done to the school. I mean, it's so, it's just so great to see it again, but also so much has been done up there, with the new gym, with the football, indoor football field. I mean, it's just, and the art play, it's really, really amazing where the high school continues to grow. It was great, and then again, when you see the other recipients of the awards, you're just blown away. I mean, the ones that are here today and calling in, and then you see who else has been honored with this. It's wow, you really are with a distinguished group of people. So it was really one more thing. I think when you're talking to the students, you're like, was I really like that? You kind of, and I was like, I'm trying to be lively and ask, be funny and say some things, and it's a little dry. My humor's not. I think my humor's with my 9-year-old. He still kind of thinks it's a little bit funny, but it's a great group of kids, and I think they've got a lot to look forward to, and you try to give some words of advice and some words of wisdom, and everybody's a little bit different, but they all you can see it in their eyes. they've got big things ahead of them, and so it was just great to spend some time with them, get to see people like Mark that I haven't seen for a while, and it's the first time I've been back in the high school, so that was really fun going to high school. So yeah, that's it. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm not sure what year Alva Educational Foundation was put in place. I can very distinctly remember when I was beginning to be a part of it, and there were two key people that I can remember, and I'm sure there was many other people on the committee, but one of them was Harvey Schusler, and he was on the school board, and the other one that I can remember was Helen Thiesing, and she was the treasurer. And I don't know how many of you remember Helen Thiesing, and if she was in charge of a checkbook, let me just tell you, she was in charge of a checkbook. And the first donations that came into Alva Educational Foundation were all local deposits, right? They kept those deposits in the town of Alva. It was very, very important to that group of people that the money stay in Alva because it needed to. Well, because we can earn more and do more things, it's been sent down to Communities Foundation for a while. But as we grow and as the foundation begins to bolster itself and get more and more, we hope to be able to bring some of those funds back for the local community so that we can make more to give more for the Alva Educational Foundation. Okay, we have one more recipient, and I think I get to do the medaling on this one. Mr. Mark McDaniel.
Did anybody in here go to Washington Elementary School?
Yes.
Am I the only person who, I thought, what am I going to say? And then I couldn't really see the screen. And then Robert Regg sounded so much like Mr. Regg. I swear to God, I thought someone would say Mark McDaniel to the principal's office. Absolutely. I think I'm having a PSD experience because of that. Well, thank you very much. I'm very honored. This is great. I really appreciate Elizabeth and the foundation for everything that they did. I do want to recognize my dad, Tom McDaniel, and my mom, Brenda McDaniel, and my wife, Stacy McDaniel, were able to make the trip. I've got 3 kids in college who are purportedly in class right now. We'll but I was glad that you guys were able to make the trip. And it's very humbling. I get the award for philanthropy, but I look and this room is just completely full of people who have been active in Alva, who have given back to Alva, and you really don't even feel worthy to be recognized for that because basically everybody in this room could receive that same award. I thought talking to the students today, and Todd has mentioned that a couple times, and Jeff, that was wonderful. It was great to be back into the high school and see the kids. I mean, they got the whole world in front of them. And, what do you say to a group of kids with their life in front of them? And I do want to say, I just point out a couple things, and I know that everybody in this room knows it. I told them that being from Alva, you have every single thing you need if you ever want to learn how to give back to others. And I think back about when I was a kid, all the people, all the institutions, I mean, the clubs, Kiwanis, Little League, Boys Choir, all the faith-based community that we have with all the churches. I mean, there was an endless possibility. And I told them that it's not like that everywhere. Alva's a special place. We've all lived, many of us live in different places, and there's nothing quite like Alva where you can do whatever you want to do. You can participate in everything. There's endless possibilities. I do just want to give a quick shout out. I think I'm up here because of a nonprofit that my wife and I started 10 years ago called Cleats for Kids, and it has been very exciting for us. And so I'm appreciative of the opportunity to be able to represent Cleats for Kids and the effort we put in there. We basically get sports equipment to kids who don't have it, to kids who need it, and we do it through kids. So we have tons of 150 kids that volunteer and on our board. And so bringing those two things together, I wouldn't have done it had it not been for my family, for the influences that I have in Alva. So thank you again, and I really appreciate this honor.
Jeff McAlpin's going to come talk to you. He's the chairman, president, chief of staff of Alva Educational Foundation, and he's going to try to get you to empty your pocketbooks.
Now, I may be president, but I know who runs the show, and her name's Elizabeth. I was a, yeah, give her a round of applause. As well, the board members that are here, would you please stand? Do these distinguished Goldbugs there? Go on. Foundation, give them a hand too. I was originally going to stand up here and tell you all that we had a certain amount of money in the foundation now, but Elizabeth informed me that I was going to be incorrect when I gave this figure. The original figure was $974,870 that we now have. That was going to be what I was going to say, but then she informed me we had $20,000 come in a check that she found this morning. So that now puts us, that now puts us at $994,000. We are $6,000 short of being $1 million that we can use to help Alva out. So Mr. Argo, when you're talking about the old traditions and the things of Alva that are there, I think that what has been passed is being passed down to this current generation in different ways, and I just think it's amazing that Alva is willing to give that much back. So again, $6,000 short. What that allows us to do, folks, is that gives us a little over $43,000 to award. And what is nice about this is since 2019, we've had a growth rate of 67% in terms of monies given. So that says a lot about the belief that people have in Alva, the educators that we have in our school system, all phases of it. We do this with mini grants. We give mini grants to teachers who apply for that. Over the last 5 years, we've been able to give every single applicant money. So that itself is very good. We've got two scholarships, two new scholarships, I should say, in the last year. That brings our total now to 13 endowed scholarships. And we have one custodial grant that we're even able to give. So kudos to Alva. So I think it's really nice when we see things like this with everything else going on in the world, politically, COVID, you name it. This, I think, says a lot. Thank you, guys, and congratulations to the distinguished Goldbugs.
Okay, there's something that we left off of the, Elizabeth, I told you, and you didn't get it on here. We're going to have an auction now, and we're going to auction, did you not, you didn't put it on there? We're not going to have an auction. $6,000, congratulations, Jeff and your team, that's sensational. Class of 78, Tony, can you just write the check, please? I understand that everybody's been in this room, but I want to make a shout out to Dr. Bruce and Dixie Meyer. All of this memorabilia is theirs. They faithfully bring it and display it every single time we have this. There's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of stuff there to somebody who knows what a Goldbug is, and pennies on the dollar to anybody else. I'd like to introduce Dr. Kay Decker. She wants to have a few words with you today.
Thank you, Todd. Let's have a round of applause for Mr. Holder. He always does a good job. I have the pleasure today to share with all of you a new program that we're going to start. It's called the Distinguished Goldbugs Faculty Stipend Award Program. Every year we have faculty who put in lots of time and effort to develop and implement elevated learning opportunities for Alva students. These opportunities bring exposure to our students. They bring college admission opportunities, college scholarships. And so one of the things that we've talked about during our planning sessions this summer and fall was how could we better recognize and support faculty who take the extra time, often at night and on weekends during the summers, to develop elevated learning opportunities and then implement those opportunities. So one of the things that we'd like to do is announce today the start of the Distinguished Goldbugs Faculty Stipend Award Program. This program will actually be funded by my fellow Distinguished Goldbugs. We'd like to start it off with awarding 1 or 2 stipends per year. Faculty will apply every spring, and then those recipients will be announced in May. And then in the fall and spring of the following year, those programs will be implemented. And what this stipend will do is basically provide faculty with a little bit of support, financial support, to take that extra time at night and on weekends to develop these learning programs. These are meant to be quality programs, something that is not going to be available in the standard curriculum. For example, we have students who would like to apply to the Oklahoma Arts Institute, which is a fairly intensive application process that does require faculty support. So sometimes that happens at night and on weekends. And when we send those kids to the Oklahoma Arts Institute, they reflect on our community and on our school system. Another opportunity that we would like to see would be possibility of students spending a week at the state capitol learning about the civics process. We know that we need to do more of that. That takes time and effort, a lot of phone calls, a lot of letter writing. So this program, we'd like to start it off this coming spring with the application process. We will be getting information out to teachers in the district, and then I will be sending letters to all of you Distinguished Goldbugs in the coming months, explaining in more detail about the program. This is an opportunity for us to impact future Goldbugs, and hopefully sometime one of those teachers will have a chance to really trigger, catalyze the next generation of Distinguished Goldbugs. So thank you, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you, Kate. And unless I'm mistaken on that, you're looking to make that a direct stipend, right? That it would be something that wouldn't be interest-bearing, it wouldn't be something that was stuck in a fund someplace. It would be a direct dollar per dollar back into the community. So that's good. Okay, well, that pretty well wraps it up. We thought we would have Larry Pierce come sing his rendition of Short People, since he used to do that. And then, because we've got to do something for 30 minutes, because the band is not going to be here to sing the fight song for the next 30 minutes. So Karen, did you want to sell Northwestern homecoming buttons? So for those of you who don't know, it's Northwestern homecoming tomorrow. And the homecoming buttons for the big show that was started by Mr. Bicknell, 50, 70, 100 years ago, for the big show is still just $10. And the admission price to get in to Northwestern's football game tomorrow afternoon is $15. So let's do the math on that and figure out class of 78. You can save $5 and get into the football game free, so see Karen for that. Okay, I would like for all of the Distinguished Goldbugs to come back up. We'd like to get a group hug picture so we can spread COVID, and make sure that you take your articles with you. We'd like for you to stick around. The band really is coming. The cheerleaders really are coming. We'd like for you to stay if you have other obligations, we understand. Thanks so much for being a great audience.